What's up, everyone? So today what you're about to see is a profiling session, and one of the many profiling sessions that I turned in for my certification at Personality Hacker. So the reason why I'm posting these is so that you can kind of get an idea of how my profiling sessions kind of go, which are essentially me sitting down with you, interviewing you for about an hour and some change. Sometimes we break it up into two parts depending on how difficult the session is, or time constraints. But essentially you pay me to sit down with you, I'll record the session with you, and then we'll find what your best fit Myers-Briggs type is and try to see if you can arrive at the same conclusion of the person's type before the end of the video, to kind of brush up your own skills. This is intended to help you guys see, there will be some stereotypes that are like, oh, this person is a classic ISFJ. And then there could be some others that you would think like, what? But I read in a book that ISTPs are like this. But this one shows up pretty differently, than what you would think, while still using that same function stack. And that's the beauty that I found in Myers-Briggs, and pretty much being able to profile people. Like after profiling many people, then I'm continuing to sharpen what my accuracy is in, profiling the person properly, while also seeing all the nuances of how 100 different INFPs can show up while still using those same functions. So without further ado, check out the following profiling session. Have fun, trying to guess what personality type that the profilee is. Try to see the nuances, some things that might surprise you. And if you would like a profiling session yourself, be sure to hit me up at denzelmensah.com. All right, so let's get this popping. So Frank, the way this is gonna go is I'm just gonna ask you a whole series of questions. There are no wrong answers, just as long as it's honest. And this is gonna be part one. So part two, I'm gonna come back to the verification. I'm like, okay, this is what personality type I believe that you are. There's 16 in total, and I'll explain to you why. And at the end, then you can tell me like if I misunderstood something about you or anything like that. Okay. But yeah, essentially, that's what it is in a nutshell. So do you have any questions on that?
No.
All right, cool. So first and foremost, tell me about yourself. Like, who are you?
That's a very broad question.
There's going to be a lot of broad questions.
You mind if I take just a few seconds?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, me as a person, first of all, I don't really like to describe myself because I feel like that's like, it's being kind of too out there. Mm-hmm. But if I had to describe myself, I guess I would say like caring, considerate, patient. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay.
Hardworking. Yeah.
Got you. And what could you tell us about, just like who you are in general? Like, what do you do for work? How old are you? Just anything about you in general.
Okay, so I'll start off with my age. I am 23. I just turned 23 in August.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And so I do music, specifically music production. And I'm a part-time student, and I work part-time too as a designer / home stager.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
What's that?
It's pretty much getting homes ready to be staged.
To be staged.
So, like, when you want to sell a house, you will design. So, pretty much, you place like something like this in the living room, and then you have it a specific design, for that house.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
What got you into that?
Honestly, it was my last roommate. He got in touch with the owner of the company, and he got hired, and then he put in a good word for me, and it just went from there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a good job. It's definitely one of the better jobs that I've had, and yeah, I've done like work with celebrities like Ty Pennington.
Oh shoot!
You know Ty Pennington?
I don't know him, but I know of him.
Yeah, he's done what's it, American Home Makeover or something like that. Yeah. So I've worked with him on projects that he is doing downtown, and other people. Like
you worked with him?
Yeah, like with him, not just like with what he's.
Wow!
Like I was there with him, like placing stuff, deciding okay, like this is what we're gonna, we're gonna do in this room.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. How did you get into music production?
So pretty much it started a long while ago with my brother. He downloaded FL Studio, which is like a popular program that is used to create music. And he started making like remakes and remixes of popular songs at the time. So I asked him like, hey, can you teach me? And he was pretty much like, yeah, I can just show you yourself, for you to do it yourself. And I went with it and just studied and practiced almost every single day.
Oh shoot.
On my own. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What got you into it? Like, as in, like, what about it made you so excited about
it? If I had to guess, I probably, always liked music, especially like the production side, like the instrumental side of music. And yeah, I honestly feel like in order for me to fully enjoy the music experience, I have to create new, experiences, create new music. Because for me, I could probably listen to a song like a few times and then I'll get bored of it. So I had to like constantly kind of, I guess, experiment or, come up with something new in order to, fully enjoy.
Is that something that comes natural for you? Like to just reinvent the wheel in a way? Or
that's a good question. I would say yes, but it also comes with practice. Because what I think is it comes naturally, but the ability to actually put it into reality and actually make a product from it is where the skills and the practice comes into play. So I could always think of an idea like, oh, I can add this to this part of the song or take this part out. But in order to actually know how to do that, you have to practice and practice and practice. Like the 10,000 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense. So it's kind of like, yeah, like you literally will have the idea, but in order to actually,
like put it into fruition.
Yeah, put it into fruition. Then that's where it's like, okay. So are you someone who usually has like a lot of ideas?
Yes, I would say yes. I definitely have a lot of ideas, and the reason why I know that is because I'm always open to collaborations with other, musicians and producers. I feel like that is just something that's definitely beneficial for me as well. I love to see, something that someone else has made and then, do my own spin to it, add my own thing to it.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And so you were like that even before your brother showed you music production like that? Like you did that with other stuff too?
Yes, I don't remember anything like specific, but I would say yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's a really creative mind. What type of music do you usually produce and work on like that?
For me, I love to do multiple genres.
Yeah.
So I started with, hip hop, rap, but I expanded into pop, R&B, house. Yeah, so and that's another thing too. I listen to every single genre. So I listen to rock, I listen to pop, R&B, house music.
You listen to bluegrass?
Bluegrass?
Yeah.
I might have heard like a song or a beat from a different genre, but I might not know the actual name.
Gotcha. Yeah. I feel like bluegrass is the only genre that I just can't. I hate it. So yeah.
If you show me like an example, I could probably.
Yeah, like I mean, in my head is that kind of like with the banjo,
like a folk.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I like folk, but bluegrass is like it's a little bit similar. I just can't do it. Just can't do it.
I'm guessing the difference is just it's purely like instrumental. Like it's just more instruments.
Yeah, I think it is the instruments. It's just the style of the music that just irritates me. Like I love country.
Yeah.
I love hip hop. I love jazz. I love pop music. I even love heavy metal just without the screaming. If you remove and I can I actually love the instrumentation.
Yeah.
I love it. And they have the best guitarists and everything, but
that's true.
Bluegrass, no. Can't do it. Can't do it. So yeah, whenever someone says like, "Oh yeah, I listen to everything," it's like, to me, it's like if they listen to bluegrass too, it's like, dang, all right, well. But I believe you probably do listen to everything except bluegrass.
Well, you never know. I might like it if you show me an example.
All right, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind to check out. But okay, well, you kind of touched on this, but I'm curious. What are some things that you love to do? And when I say that you love to do, I mean that you love to do so much, the only reason why you stop is because you're absolutely exhausted. Otherwise, you would go on indefinitely.
So the first thing would be creating music. I can confidently say that I love to, create music, and that is because I've taken breaks, I've taken time off from creating new productions, new instrumentals, but something always brings me back to it, and each time I come back, it's almost like I never left. It's like, something that is kind of like a drive that compels me to like just make new, music.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's definitely one thing. The other things that I like would be, I guess, just spending quality time with, loved ones. That's priceless.
For sure.
What else? You're saying things that I love, right?
Yeah, you just love doing it.
Yeah, I have to think about it because
Yeah, take your time. No worries.
It's not. Normally stuff like this is just stuff that I do, but I don't really think about like I have to do this in order to be happy. I just normally end up doing it. But I guess another example would be being outside, being in nature, exercising.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely exercising too. And yeah, if I had to do like an activity outside, it would have to be with people that are, how can I explain it? People that are like cool or something, like a better word. Like people that I actually enjoy spending time with.
For sure.
Not just going out to like a club and meeting random people. Like I actually enjoy quality time and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. That it's like, yeah, that's what makes the time quality.
Yeah,
for you, and that makes sense. How long have you been creating music, by the way?
About 8 years.
8
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a journey, and
Yeah.
each year I've gotten better. I've found a way to
I'm really looking forward to hearing your stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're not about to boast on yourself, so it's all right. But like, that's I can tell that you at least have like a really deep passion for it, and that's exciting. Especially since you listen to so much other stuff. So I'm looking forward to also hearing like some of the music that you put me onto. So cool.
Definitely.
Well, what are some things that you absolutely hate doing? Like, just makes you want to tear your goatee out?
It would be just anything that's like a pointless task. Like, probably can't think of like a specific example, but just like if you're working like a job, like any random job, and they have you just doing like just the most random, meaningless thing, like that's something that's just like, I just don't like.
It's like busy work, pretty much.
No, worse than that.
Worse than
meaningless.
busy work?
Yeah, meaningless.
What's the difference between busy work and meaningless work?
For me, at least, busy work is at least like it might not be like important, but it's still, I guess, productive in a way. That's my definition of busy work. But when I mean like meaningless, I truly mean like just being tasked to do something like completely meaningless. And what else?
Do you have like any examples of that? And does that happen to you often, or?
It's happened to me before. I wouldn't have. I'd say an example would be like, let's say you're working. I don't know. Pick a job.
Therapist.
Okay, so if you're a therapist, you pretty much, I guess, something that would be meaningless would just be like you have to always like go through like a list of questions that it doesn't have anything to do with the person that you're interviewing. I'm not saying for this case. I'm saying like
yeah, for sure.
Like if I was tasked to do something that I know like it has no end goal, it's just like it's completely meaningless. And I know it sounds like very specific, but that's just something for me. It's kind of like a pet peeve. I like to accomplish something with my time. I feel like if I'm just wasting time, then it's like it's pointless.
Yeah, no, I definitely respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that a lot. What other things do you absolutely abhor?
Uh, I guess because for me, my personality, I don't really hate a lot of things. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But
Like you don't spend your time dwelling on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if something was to bother me, I immediately know, like, okay, I can't let this, take over, the majority of my time. But I'd say another thing that I really dislike would be lack of understanding, I guess.
Lack of understanding.
Yeah.
So, like, if I don't understand code, for example.
No. It's a little bit simpler than that. It's like, let's say, for example, like let's say, I'll just use the workplace example again.
Yeah.
You start, working at a new job, and then when you're interacting with someone else, you explain to them like, okay, like I don't appreciate how you're doing this or that. Could you maybe not do this?
Uh-huh.
And then they either like just completely ignore you, or they just double down and continue to do whatever you ask them not to do, or yeah.
How do you respond in such situations?
For me, I normally just give space. So for me, it's better to not always be combative. Obviously, there's a time and place to to lay out what
move.
well, that too, but there's a time and place for you to be confrontational, and then non-confrontational. So
how do you decide when is to be confrontational and when not to be confrontational?
So for the majority of situations, I believe it's not necessary to be confrontational.
Yeah.
Because it kind of circles back to what I was saying. Like it goes back to something just being meaningless. So one of the things I see as being meaningless is like getting into an argument or like a fight that's just super unnecessary. So yeah, so that's pretty much how I gauge things. If I see it as just unnecessary, there's no need to argue, then I'm just gonna just state what I think, and then let you think about it, or just that's it. Or I'll just give you some space, and then yeah, like literally I'll just give you some space. I'll come back, and then maybe when everything's calmed down, that's when we can discuss. So that's how I normally You just love giving people space. Yeah. That's a gift. That's a gift to them, right? Yeah. You're giving it to them. You're giving them space. You're not giving yourself space. I mean, explain giving myself space. Well, I was kind of making a joke, like in the sense that you're. So yeah, I was like jesting, but in a way, it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna give you spaces in life. Yeah. Perhaps you would be the one who wants to get away from that person. Yeah. But instead, it's like, you know what? I think that you want to get away from me, so I'm gonna distance myself from you. Yeah. So it's like you're doing them a favor rather than doing yourself a favor. Would you agree with that? It's just the same thing, but just like perspective. Yeah, I agree. I would. But yeah. I feel you. I'm similar. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, so you understand. Yeah, I understand. Okay. I'm gonna give you space. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Well, again, you already answered some of this earlier, but I'd like to know, how would you describe yourself in addition to what you said earlier, even if other people disagreed?
So I would say like I'm very persistent.
Very persistent?
Yeah. For me, I really don't I really don't like to care. Like I can listen to what people say about me, but I really don't care too much about what people think or say about me. But if someone was like, if they were to think that I didn't have like the drive to, go for my like goals or something, then that's something I'll be like, no, you're wrong. Like that's something that I always, double down on.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's just, I don't know what else someone could say that's like just not true at all.
Gotcha. Okay. How would other people describe you, even if you disagreed?
I can only go off of like what people have told me. People told me that I'm hardworking. I'm, I guess, polite. What else? What else can I say without sounding like?
I mean, hey, no, seriously. Seriously, if it's what people said, then it's what people said. There's a difference between humility and modesty,
Yeah.
If you're just saying, I mean, hey, this is just what it is. It's not to brag. I'm good at making music. Then you're good at making music. I don't see this bragging.
Yeah, some people, they, say I'm good at music too. And then I guess some people call me smart. And I guess whatever else people think.
Whatever else?
Yeah. See that, like I said, I don't really pay too much attention. Even when it's good, I don't like ponder it too much. Even if it's a good thing that someone says, or if it's a bad thing, I really don't. Not to like discredit what people are thinking of me, but it's more like, I am who I am, and it's like I'm not perfect, but I'm not, trying to do wrong either. So it's like, it's just my way of just not trying to have a like perpetual like, how can I explain it? Like expectation of myself, for others or something. So yeah.
Do you feel uncomfortable from other people having expectations of you?
I'd say maybe in the past, like people in my family, maybe, but like just other people, not really.
Okay.
But yeah, like obviously, like it's a little bit different when it's like someone that's closer,
right,
in your family.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Would you consider yourself to be an organized person?
Can I ask you to decipher organize a little bit more? Break down organize?
Sure. Actually, no. Not yet.
No? Not yet? Okay.
Yeah. However you would describe it.
I'd say, if I have to be honest, I am organized in things that I guess matter to me. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
So pretty much like a good explanation of that would be, I'm not naturally inclined to be organized, but if it matters to me, I will do whatever it takes to, reach that level of being organized in it. So if I have to learn a new skill,
Yeah.
at first I might not be organized at all.
Uh-huh.
Things might be, this way and that way.
Yeah.
But if I'm like really into it, I will, do whatever practice it is for me to be organized.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Cool. All right. Do you see yourself as someone who prefers structure, or do you like openness?
that's a good question. I think it depends, but for the most part, I'd say structure.
Yeah.
But it depends on the situation, because I think some things are overly structured where they should be more open, and vice versa.
Yeah. Are you like a more detailed person, like detail-oriented person, or are you more of like a forest before trees type of person?
What do you mean by forest before trees?
Like big picture, or are you someone who's able to like, really focus on the details?
I'd have to say it goes back to what I was explaining about things mattering to me. Like if something matters to me, I'll be super detailed.
Right.
But if it's just I'm given a task, random task or something, I'll just be like, okay, let's look at the bigger picture.
Got it.
But I would say for the most part, I'm more of a detailed person.
Got it.
More generally.
For sure. Makes sense. I would love to know how you were like as a child. Like, what would your parents tell me about you, or teachers? What would they have said about you? What do you remember about yourself? Give me a whole picture.
Okay, so that's actually a really good question. So I would say, to start off, I am who I am right now because of the influences that I had around me at a young age. Mm-hmm. So I remember I was probably in like third grade. Not to get into like a long, deep story, but
hey, whatever is comfortable for you.
So pretty much, like my family hasn't always been like the most, I guess, financially stable. Mm-hmm. So, and then also, added with that too, I lost my father at a young age. So, luckily, at a young age, I was surrounded by good role models. Yeah. So I had a really good teacher. I think it was for third grade. I'll never forget her name, Miss Kenny. Mm-hmm. She went above and beyond. Like, she would always make sure that I was, taken care of, and, that I was, doing good in school, socially too. And then also, she would get gifts for Christmas, because, you know how it is when it's hard on a family. Right. And yes, so stuff like that definitely helped me to, see how to treat other people, and see that it's better to just treat someone good than, just treat someone however, or because you're mad when you just, treat them however you want. So, I have role models like that to show me, that, that's how I should, act, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then obviously, being a kid too, it's not, everything isn't just good. I'd say one thing that was definitely said about me was I used to cry a lot. Mm-hmm. So, but like be like an annoying type of like crybaby. And every time they tell me that, I don't believe them. Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah. So that was one thing. What else? What else was I like? I guess I was kind of like a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
So I took in a lot of, like I said, good qualities, luckily. And I was able to decipher, good from bad at an early age. I knew, okay, if there's a group of kids doing this stuff that isn't that good, just go your own way, and, vice versa. What else? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to kind of condense.
Yeah.
But
and then growing up, going into high school, anything changed for you there?
I think everyone has their own phase.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Everyone has their own like adolescent phase. Like when you turn teenager, like when you turn into a teenager, like 13 to 14, I think I definitely had like kind of like the rebellious phase, I guess. But it wasn't too bad. It was just more talking back and just wanting to do my own thing. But luckily I never did anything, too crazy.
Right.
But yeah. So I would definitely explain my early teenage years like that. Just a little bit more, what would be the word for it? It's not, because it's not really that I was rebellious. I was just more, what's the word? Like I would just do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, what's the word for that? I don't really have the word for that right now.
To do whatever you wanted.
Like,
you went by the beat of your own drum?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
Is it easy for you to identify what you want to do?
Like in the future or like currently?
Talk to me about both.
As of right now, I'd say yes, because I've experienced enough to the point where I know where I want to go, and then I know how to get to that by taking little steps here and there. So now it's definitely a lot easier for me to know what I want to do. But if you ask me the same question probably like 3 years ago, it would be different. I would still have the same goal. I just would not have any idea of how to get to that level. So yeah.
Was it hard for you to attain like resource? Like is that something that's difficult for you to like figure out, like, oh man, how do I get there? How do I get the resources for this? Or is it like not really? Or
so when you say resources, do you mean like if it's like a business, like a business loan or something like that, or anything?
Yeah, I guess like anything, like for example, like now, you're doing music production and everything. Like, was it kind of like difficult for you to figure out what you needed to get that done? And after you figured out what you needed, was it kind of difficult for you to like figure out how to get what you needed to do it?
So like, let's I guess use music as a go. So what would I'd have to ask you, like, what would be like something I would need in music or something?
Yeah,
maybe
a mix pad.
Okay, so like a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
I'd say,
and knowing which one is like quality enough and all of that?
I'd say no. When it comes to stuff like that, no, because I definitely understood that you can do a lot with very little, and you don't need too many choices. Even though for me, like, I love to have like the craziest, newest sounds and stuff like that, but I'll end up using like 5 or 10 out of 100 or 500 sounds that I have. But I always like having the large, library just in case, I want to try something new.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. How often do you end up trying out those new things?
I'd say I definitely like to try new things. It's kind of interesting for me because when I was younger, like, I'd have people tell me that, or ask me that, like, I don't like, to do something new. Like, I don't like to change. I think the exact phrase was like, I don't like change. But now that I'm older, I kind of embrace change.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not, too hesitant of change.
Are you nostalgic?
Nostalgic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. I'd say yeah. Not as much as it's like a couple years ago, but I'd say still yeah. I'm more of in the moment right now than yeah.
Got you. So, if, for example, what would you say takes up the most space in your mind from the following, from greatest to least? Past, future, and present.
I'd say present, greatest, future, second, and then past is definitely last.
Definitely last.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because things that happened in the past, you literally cannot change. There's only what you can do now or in the future, where you can plan for the future.
Got it.
Things that happened in the past already happened, and it's like you can literally only learn from the past.
Facts.
So
Facts.
yeah.
Got you. Are you someone who's really good at being able to just see things for what they are?
I'd say yes.
Yeah. How in tune, or weird question, quote unquote, but how would you describe your relationship with your body?
With my body?
Yeah.
I'd say I have a very good relationship with my body. I feel like I understand the makeup and dynamics of not only my body type, but how my body functions. So to go deeper into that, if I am tired, like if I wake up and I feel really tired, I immediately know like there's only a few things that can cause that for me. And if I feel tired during the day, I'll know, okay, this is what I have to do to not feel this way. And then, like, let's say if I'm at the gym and I start cramping up, I'll immediately know, okay, I need to eat more potassium, I have to do this and that. And then if I feel sore or something like that, then I'll know, okay, like I just need to rest a little bit. And then when I rest, the next day I'm, perfect. So stuff like that, I definitely am. I can confidently say that I'm in tune with my own body.
That's what's up. What's up. Would you say that you're also aware of your surroundings a lot of times?
Yes, definitely.
That's a really strong answer.
Yes.
Okay. What makes you say that so confidently?
Yeah, so I say for everyone, you have to be in tune with your surroundings, but for me specifically, I'm definitely in tune with like what's happening around me, because I feel like, I mean, obviously you can't control what happens around you per se, but you can you can see what's happening around you, and then you can control how you react to it. So
yeah. Are you good at being able to respond quickly to things?
Like, do you mean physically or just
physically?
Like, yes.
What was the other one that you were going to say?
I was going to say, like, mentally, like, if someone was like, hey, you gotta do this or that, or else someone's gonna, perish, and you have to, like, mentally think or something, then I say still yes, but obviously I would still critically think. I wouldn't just instantly, pick, a choice.
Yeah.
I'll still try and make an educated, choice.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I have a very serious question to ask you. There was a salt shaker and a game controller that got married. One is the husband and one is the wife. Which one is which and why?
You said a salt shaker.
Salt shaker and a game controller.
They both got married.
Yep. To each other, of course.
That's a very interesting question. I would say the game controller is the husband.
Okay. Why is that?
Because the game controller symbolizes more, play, more of a loose, I guess, kind of structure, or more of a free, I guess, roam structure, however you want to describe that. And the salt shaker it just instantly symbolizes, I guess, like order and being more clean, to me at least.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the reason why I can say that is because I grew up. I'm the youngest in my family, so I grew up with an older brother here and 2 older sisters. So I grew up knowing how, my sisters interact, and they're very orderly and clean and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh.
And straight to the point.
Got you. Okay. Well, where did they go for their honeymoon?
Where would they go? Or
where did they go? They didn't tell me. I don't think they like me.
Oh, the salt shaker?
Yeah.
Honeymoon, I'd just say the beach.
The beach?
Yeah.
Like the one, just about 30 minutes away from it?
No, it would. If it's a honeymoon, it's got to be like an island or someplace not too secluded, but just someplace a little bit nicer than just going to like Savannah or something.
True.
Yeah.
True. So. Okay. Did they make it? Like, do you think that they're gonna last, or you think they're gonna break up?
I would need more context because I'm the person where I can see where things would go, but I also do believe you can work things out, and you can, improve as a person, as long as you have that in you to improve. But a lot of people don't have that ability to grow. So that's why I would have to say that, I need the context of, how, the salt shaker and the game controller would, interact. But do I still have to answer? Or?
I mean, if you have an answer, but if you don't have one, that's cool. You know everything. I don't. They don't tell me anything. So like you already know the context.
I just say no, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And that's with no context.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No problem. But thank you. There was no right or wrong answers. I just wanted to see how you would deal with that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I won't let him know that you told me anything.
Gotcha.
Do you ever get paranoid thinking about the future?
Not really, no.
Okay. No anxiety or anything? Okay. Cool.
Not really. I will say though, I think everyone does feel anxiety at some point, but I, especially don't, I try to let it not, control how I feel too much.
How do you do that?
Just staying in the now. So doing whatever I can right now to, just improve and just go forward. And then obviously, still have goals, but not just, not thinking, always in the future, like where you're going to be, more of, thinking about what you can do now.
Oh, respect. Seriously. I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you ever get paranoid of what other people are thinking about you?
No.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I already understand, like, everyone, especially with social media, everyone portrays, their best version of themselves. So, yeah, so it's like, you just, I show you who I am, and if you don't like it, then oh well.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. How good are you at shifting into other people's perspective?
So when you say shifting into other people's perspective, you mean like getting along with other people, or
seeing things from how they see it?
Oh, I'd say I am probably really good at that. Yeah. Because I don't know if that's like a innate thing for me, but I always try and see from other people's, standpoint. Yeah. To try and understand how they feel in a certain situation, or to see, okay, this is why they acted this way, or this is why they interacted with this other person this way. So got you for sure.
Okay, we're almost done, by the way. How would you describe your relationship with your emotions?
I say I have a good relationship with my emotions. Yeah.
Okay. How do you describe that? What makes you say it's a good relationship?
So I'll give you a good example. So I'd say this housing situation is a good example. The last roommates, they wanted to move out because rent was raised, and at the time it was only 4 of us. So we were paying more, or we would have paid more, and they didn't like that, and so they decided to move out, and it was just stressful. It was kind of a stressful situation and stuff like that. And then so I still, knowing that it may have been stressful, I still decided to stay and see what I could do, and contact more people to move in, even though I didn't know if I could stay or not. But I just hunkered down and made sure that I could at least see a result before I felt any way, or before I made a decision based off of just emotion. Nice. So stuff like that. And then it's just other situations. I feel like everyone can kind of train themselves to, have more control over their emotions. It just depends on, your experiences and just how you interact.
Nice. I respect that too. Would you say that you're very in tune with your emotions?
Yes.
Okay. So you always know how you feel?
Yes. That's a good thing that you just said. You always, know how you feel. I always know how I feel, but I may not always state how I feel. But I will definitely know how I feel. And the reason why I say that is because, I particularly have been in situations where it's like, if I state how I feel in that moment, it would just lead to a bigger issue. So I would just rather be like, okay, just, let everything be calm. But I still feel that way. But, if it needs to happen where I express how I feel, I will definitely, if I have to, I will definitely let things,
Got you.
But this is just more for more, I guess, serious or more detrimental situations, I guess. So stuff like that.
Yeah. Would you say that you have a very nuanced view of your emotions, or is it pretty happy, sad, angry?
So when you say nuance, like a deeper understanding?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've definitely explored, because I don't really meditate. I wouldn't say I meditate in the traditional sense, but I definitely take the time to think about why I feel this way in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And then also I even go back into my past to see why I act the way I, would act now. So I would literally go, because I can remember, okay, this is what I used to do in the past when I was 5. And this is how I used to react to certain situations back then. So now I understand, as I am right now, as to why I might feel that way.
Wow.
Because of how it was back then. Because I also do know that's a huge factor as to why everyone, reacts the way they react, how they, grew up.
Yeah.
So
yeah. For sure. That's word. Does anyone ever see you as bossy?
I don't really think so. I wouldn't say bossy, but I would say if I had to be, it's not bossy, but I'd say if I had to put my foot down, then people would definitely know.
Firm.
I'm firm when I have to be, but I wouldn't consider myself bossy.
Gotcha.
Because I've had people tell me where in the past where it's they told me that I've been firm about certain situations, but I wasn't really bossy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't really.
Yeah. Do you have a disdain for telling people what to do?
No, not really. But I do I feel for people when it's now I have to let's say I'm a manager or something.
Yeah.
And I have to keep telling, something. Then it's I feel for you, but I'll still do it though.
Yeah.
But I'll understand I already know I'm coming to this guy or lady to tell them again that they have to do something.
Yeah.
But I will do it. Just if I have to.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Hold on, I had a question there. Let me just find it again. I lost it. But okay. Would you say that you're someone who's more prone to act too soon or act too late?
Is there in between option? Because like the previous questions, I don't really act too soon unless I have to. Like if it's a super dire situation that needs like an instant response, then I do that. But if it's just anything else, I can take my time. So I guess I'll lean a little bit more towards like taking my time to act, even though I might not have to.
Yeah, got that. I remember the question from before. Do you feel responsible for other people's emotions?
No. No. Yeah, I can definitely say no to that.
Why such a strong answer?
Like I said, it's like I feel like the majority of people really have more control over their emotions than they think they do. I think that most of the time they just allow their emotions to overtake. And the reason why I can say that is because they know what triggers them, or they know what would lead to whatever situation it is. And all it is you gotta realize, okay, this is what triggers me, or this is what sets this chain reaction off, and I just have to notice that and then dial it back a little bit. So yeah, totally.
When it comes to your core, like, are you someone who's very tapped into your core values, ethics, and all of that? Like, is that something that you think about a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strong answer. Okay. What would you say is something that's very obvious to you, but seems to evade everybody else? Or things that are obvious to you, but seems like, yo, how does nobody ever catch this? But I'm always the one who's noticing this. And then the reverse, stuff that's like, people are always like, oh, Frank, like, how did you not know this? Or how did you not see this? Or whatever.
I think there might be a lot of instances for me that are like that, but for some reason I don't really like think about it too much, because if it's something that's like something that I notice that other people might not notice a lot, and I tend to see that happening like often, I kind of don't pay too much attention to it, because I understand that it kind of is what it is. Like, if people won't realize it, then it's like I can't force someone to. But I guess, I really have to think about this. I guess, just one thing would just be, treating people, I guess, treating people right and not being selfish. But when I say selfish, I mean not, because when I really say selfish, I mean like being selfish when you're not even realizing it. Like those automatic choices that you don't even realize are just for your, self-interest. I think most people, when they're put into situations, whether it's something serious or not, they'll automatically just think about themselves and they disregard what, other people think.
Yeah.
Which I guess could also be something called empathy. So I think that's just another thing that I guess a lot of people, but not all people, just gloss over. Just standard empathy and just being able to understand other people's situations and how other people feel. So
yeah, that's good. And then for the things that you always miss that people might point out to you.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have to think about this.
You good?
I don't really have situations like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
When it comes to very abstract, conceptual, philosophical conversations, how are you liking those? How do you feel about them?
So when we say abstract, like you just mean like just any. I'd say I guess I can, dive deep into conversations like that, depending on, how much I know about it. Like I wouldn't shy away from, conversation.
Gotcha. How do you feel about like metaphorical and, like, are you someone who's more apt to metaphor and analogy and cryptic meanings, or are you more of like, I like the straightforward stuff that you can just observe in that way?
This is interesting for me because I think I'm both. I like things to be very straightforward, but I definitely can say that I can like pick up on, the things that are kind of in between the lines.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I have a good example of that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you want me to.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I love that you have so many examples. To be honest, I have to tell you about that later.
Yeah. When I was in middle school, I'll never forget this. My English teacher, he was in the middle of like a lecture and he put like a picture of an old man on the screen. And this picture is in black and white, so you can't really see his face. And he simply just asked us, like, what do you think this means? Like, what do you think the picture is portraying? And I raised my hand and he picked me and I said, I think it's an old man that is blind and yada, yada, yada. And he literally like, he took a second and paused and he was like surprised that I guessed exactly what it was, portraying. And yeah, he told me like after class, like, yeah, that was like kind of crazy how you just guessed that. And I had no context, no nothing. I just instantly picked up on what the picture was showing. So that could just be me either having, multiple, I guess, outcomes already in my head, or just me just picking up on things. So that's something I'll always remember.
Yeah. Wow.
But then again, I do like being straightforward.
Yeah.
It makes things a lot easier if it's just straightforward.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Oh yeah, the last question, I think. what I wanted to ask you. What gains your respect for people?
What gains my respect? That's a good question. What gains my respect is, it's actually kind of funny, is when other people show respect first.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I think everyone you meet, it's just good to show respect at first, like no matter, where they stand in life. Just show them respect, and then that's something that you can build on. Not the other way around, where it's like you have to gain someone's respect or something like that. You have to be something you're not. I think that's not how things should really go. So being respectful, being kind, being open-minded, I guess, being able to listen to other people, and being understanding, just like common empathy. Like it's simple, but it's probably something that people have to still work on.
Yeah, so. For sure. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna throw in this question too, just as a final thing, actually. 2 nightmare situations. Which one is more of a nightmare to you? Option A: you're in a house full of people, all of which you love, but you don't get any alone time, except for when you're in the bathroom. Even then, you can't hide out in the bathroom, because if the house is full of people, eventually they're gonna want to use the bathroom too. For 3 weeks. Or option number 2: you're on an island completely by yourself for 3 weeks. You have a laptop, you got food, whatever else that you want to mess with, but you are unable to comment on any YouTube videos. You can't text no one. You can't communicate with anybody off of that island for those 3 weeks. Which one is more of a nightmare to you?
That's a good question. To answer that, I would say I really do love my alone time.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate, and I think that's something that's important for me, at least, to have my alone time. But at the same time, I definitely think that I would like to be around people that I love. And I do understand. I've seen both. I've seen both instances where it's like I'm alone, and then I'm also surrounded by other people. And I do realize that it's very important to have good relationships. In order to kind of not just be sane, but just be more at like a baseline, happiness.
Yeah.
But so
yeah.
I mean, to further explain that, I'd say I'm more of a, I think it's called ambivert. So like there's introvert and then there's extrovert, but I'm kind of both, so ambivert.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dope. Thanks, Frank. I really appreciate this. This was very fun.
Yeah.
I am going to get back to you when my instructor. I'm gonna tell her what type I think that you are, and fill out all the paperwork and everything, and then I'm gonna see what she says. If she needs me to ask you more questions or anything like that, and then I'll come back to you and I'll tell you, what type I believe that you are and everything, or confirm that. But this was very fun. I don't know him yet, but I just got to know him, so this is cool. Thank you for being a part of this.
No, thank you. It was pretty fun.
All right. So what did you conclude? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do a part 2 on camera with Frank. Some things happened with my instructor, and she said that it was too far. Jamila was in the video, so apparently it didn't count. And so, I explained what Frank's personality type was. The next 2 weeks or so. I explained it to him off of camera. But if you want to know, he is an ISFP. Hopefully it was pretty evident to you, so I won't give an elaborate description, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then definitely write them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to clarify. But I hope that you enjoyed watching this session nonetheless. And yeah. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video, and if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It actually really helps out my channel a lot, so that more people who actually care about what I want to say can actually find me a lot more easier. Also, if you did enjoy it, then maybe you'll enjoy a lot of my other content as well, so be sure to check out some of my playlists where you'll be able to find a lot of my older videos and older content. And last but not least, if you would like any profiling sessions or coaching sessions, be sure to check out denzelmensah.com, where you'll be able to book me and you'll see the rest of my services. But thanks again, and have a great day.